Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, members of council, members of management, the general public that are joining us by media platforms. Thank you for joining our public meeting here tonight at Council Chambers, April 7, 2022. And I have to say, it is an absolutely astounding day in Stephenville, Newfoundland. Spring has arrived, and while I was driving in here, I have to also say that I seen both of our disc golf courses being utilized by sports athletes that are out testing their mettle with golf disc frisbees or golf frisbees, enjoying our recreational facilities. So it's so nice to see people are starting to get out, and we have a lot to do in Stephenville, Newfoundland. So on that note, I would ask that a member of council move that we adopt the agenda as circulated.
So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow, seconder, Councillor Tracy Boland. All in favor?
Aye.
Compromise. Okay, we're good to go. All approved. Okay, item number 2, the approval of minutes. We have 2 sets of minutes. The first one was our previous public council meeting, which was dated March 24th, 2022. They were circulated by our town clerk. I would ask a member of council move that those minutes be adopted.
I so move.
Moved by Councillor Myra White, seconded Councillor Lenny Tiller. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Item 2B, which is a motion to amend number 22-80, the approval of public meeting of council minutes, March 10, 2022, with revised public meeting of council minutes, March 10, 2022-1. And I'm just wondering before I call, I'll call for a motion.
So moved.
Moved by Councillor Lenny Tiller, seconder, Councillor Tracy Bowman. Before, Jennifer, could you just go through us what that, just for clarity for the general public?
Sure. So on the meeting of March 10th, the approval of the minutes was a motion of council, and then matters arising from the minutes, you made a comment that something was the error.
Yes.
So the error was corrected, but where you already made a motion of council to adopt the minutes cannot be changed, so they would
Okay.
have to be revised.
Okay, sounds good.
So of course you're making a motion right now of those revised.
Okay, so that was a technical issue on the procedures of order. So on that note, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Are there any matters arising from the minutes? No matters arising from the minutes. Item number 4, proclamations and delegations. April is called Cancer Awareness Month. Geez, it's so prevalent you'd almost think it could be 12 months of the year, really. I'm a cancer survivor myself. A lot of people are, but thanks to the advancement in medicine today, a lot of cancers can be treated, especially if they're detected early. That's the key thing. And that's the challenge that COVID, as many lives as the measures did to save, there were lives that were lost, whether it was heart or cancer or other diseases that were prevalent in society. But, don't discount the power of a pandemic and what it can do. And if we just go back 2 years ago, when the mass graves were being dug in New York City, that'll give you an indication. And I think it's closing in on 6 million people on the planet that died of COVID-19 and its variant. So pretty impacted. But I have to say that April is an important month. Support those who have had it and ensure you take care of your own health measures. And as I'll say, it is not easy for Newfoundland Labradorians when 1 in 5 people don't have a family doctor. But let's hope that that changes in the future. Okay, committee reports. Item number 5.1. It's the Finance Committee. I'm going to turn over to Chair Councillor Myra White.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Our Finance Committee tonight, the item number 1 is our expense checks listing for March 2022. It was the recommendation of the Finance Committee that the expense check listing for March 2022 in the amount of $421,000 $208.60 be approved. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Myra White, seconder.
I second.
Second, Councillor Tracy Boland, all in favor? Motion carried.
Item number 2, request for a grant from Stephenville Theatre Festival. It was the recommendation of the Finance Committee that the town of Stephenville give a grant in the amount of $15,000 to the Stephenville Theatre Festival 44th season. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Myra White, seconder.
Second.
Second, Councillor Lenny Tiller.
Oh.
Hand went up a little faster than you,
Okay.
Councillor Aylward. Just saying,
The same.
just saying. I just want to say, it's so nice to see the festival. I gotta say, when the festival shut down that year and we were our first year, it was devastating for me because I absolutely love going to the Stephenville Theatre Festival. It's the hallmark of my summer, going to these shows. And I love a lot of theater, but I love the dinner theaters. And this year, they're having a dinner theater that's, I believe it's one-hit wonders, and there's going to be some engagement with the crowd. And I'm sure even for some of the counselors and staff around here, at some point in time, where you were singing in the shower, you thought you were a one-hit wonder. At maybe some point in time, you know? I'm sure Susan.
I might have been inebriated at some point.
Before you lost your voice.
Yeah. So, but you know, it's remember about the Seymour Theatre Festival. It is the longest serving professional theater in the province of Newfoundland. It is renowned by artists across the country. When you perform at the Steamboat Theatre Festival, those actors, it's a primer for Broadway. That's how significant the Steamboat Theatre Festival is.
Excuse my cough.
It creates jobs.
His allergy cough.
Bless you. So it is impacting, it's part of our social fabric. And I've said it several times, but I'll say it again because we don't know who's listening online. But they say the musical spirit, talent, creativity of the people of Steamboat Bay St. George was influenced by the impact of the U.S. Air Force Base and those major USO shows that came through here. And Laura, I'm not dating you, but you would probably, but I am dating you. But you would be able to go back, and you're smiling now,
Yeah.
to remember those acts. So we had Frank Sinatra here. So I think what they say is that when the locals would see those big shows, and the best of the best came out of the US that came through Steamboat, and they'd see how they'd look and how they dress and their choreography and how their harmonies and their instruments. The local said, I guess we got to be that good, or let's be better. And it impacted our musical swagger that we have here in the Steamboat Bay St. George area. And we can stand up to anybody, by the way. And on that note, we will get to showcase our musical swagger in September of this year. A film crew from PBS will be in Stephenville filming. That's hard to say. And we're going to be paired with Lake City, South Carolina. Their musical talents will be filmed also in September. And there's going to be a 2-hour segment on PBS in April of 2023. So it's going to get to market Stephenville. So if any counselors feel you're worthy to be a one-hit wonder, that's your opportunity.
Susan?
Just say it. So on that note, I know it was a long preamble after the motion and the seconder, but all in favor for the grant of the Steamboat Theatre Festival.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item number 3, request for donation, Bay St. George Mountain Bike Group. It was the recommendation of the Finance Committee that the town of Stephenville donate a mountain bike in the amount of $500 to the Bay St. George Mountain Bike Group for a prize giveaway. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Myra White, seconder. Second, Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow, all in favor.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Any comment, Mr. Mayor? Okay. Item number 4, approval of signing officers. Let it be resolved that the signing officers for the town of Stephenville in order of authority for council, Mayor Tom Rose, Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow, staff, Town Clerk Jennifer Brake, and in her absence, the Town Manager Colin Maddock. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Myra White, seconder.
Second?
Second, Councillor Laura Aylward, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Beat Lenny that time.
And I almost trumped you up to deputy mayor too.
Item number 5, the approval of appoint acting town clerk.
No, not loud, not loud. Go ahead, Myra.
Okay.
Point of
You
order.
gave me real scared. Let it be resolved that council approve in the absence of the town clerk, appoint Colin Maddock, town manager, as acting town clerk. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Myra White, seconder. Councillor Tracy Bowen, seconder. Just clarity, this is a part of procedure. It's no different when town manager Mike Campbell in Jennifer's absence, he would take the role and the duties of the town clerk, whether she's on holidays. And that happens many times, or she's off for a flu or a cold, happens. So it's a backup plan for us, so all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, anything late for finance? Okay, okay, 5.2, we're gonna turn it over to the Chair of Planning and Traffic, Councillor Laura
Listen, you
Aylward.
want to read it?
And
For the copper.
do you need
Yeah,
a
no
glass of
worries.
water or Councillor Aylward?
Yes,
Do you
Just
want-
hang on 1 second.
Yeah.
Cough drop didn't do it.
I don't think there's any water in our cooler, is there?
Maybe not.
Colin's gone, is it?
Fisherman's friend,
What's it,
third dictative.
they're the lemon. What?
While we're having this little segue here, I guess maybe I'll just talk a little bit about spring is coming, and it's time for our residents and members of council, our business community, our public works. Spring cleanup is always important to the community because the image of your town is so important, especially when guests arrive here. And this is come home year. I think, you know, that we'll work with management and public works and our beautification this year, and not putting a motion or anything on the table, just discussion. But look at maybe a heightened level of work to be completed this year, because there'll be a lot of people within the province traveling. And I'm sure everybody in the province would like to come to Steamboat, so.
Absolutely.
Large crowd, right?
There's a lot of discussion today at the, is it the tourism conference? I'm trying to think.
Hospitality?
Hospitality tourism, about the shortage of rental vehicles, and they're trying to come up with some solutions province-wide, but that's
Yeah.
going to be a challenge for sure.
Yeah, there's no doubt. So while we're waiting, are you good to go, Councillor Aylward? You want to get started?
She's not reading.
I'm gonna,
No, Tristan.
I'll take. the
Oh, you
reins.
take care of it?
I'll take the reins tonight.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you very much, Councillor Aylward.
Yeah,
All right, so for planning and traffic, 5.2A, we have consolidate property, New Mexico Drive for Donald and Christine Kendall. Request for permission to consolidate property located at 130 New Mexico Drive with a vacant lot adjacent to the property. The property to remain named as 130 New Mexico Drive as per letter attached. It was the recommendation of the committee that this item be approved, subject to compliance with all town regulations. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Tristan Mule and second Councillor Tracy Ball, and all in favor.
Aye.
Motion
oh,
carried.
thank you. Sure.
Thanks, Colin.
And for B, we have Bay du Nord project recommendation, letter of support. It was the recommendation of the Planning and Traffic Committee that the town of Stephenville write a letter of support to government officials for Bay du Nord project. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Tristan Mule and second Councillor Lenny Tiller. Just want to say that was great news for the province. I had no doubt it was going to be approved. When the energy sector is big in Canada, energy sector is very big in Newfoundland and Labrador. The royalty regime that we make from the Atlantic Accord is very significant. But as we know, it is a commodity that is very volatile at times, and we see the price of where it's at today, close to $2 a liter for just regular gas. But those price points allows the province to gain revenues on its taxation regime, which actually provides services such as healthcare, education, transportation, all the big categories that the province spends their money on. But this is something that over the next 10 years, significant growth will happen. And in Newfoundland and Labrador, you know, we have 2 gold mines adjacent to Stephenville, not real close, but from an adjacency perspective at Marathon, which is on the Buffins Road, and then down at Port-aux-Basques with the resurgence, I guess, of the Hope for Gold that's happening there. So with gold mines, with Boise's doing really well, especially with that big nickel contract that they received. It shows that Newfoundland is very rich in natural resources, but it shows also the importance of renewable energies. And just recently, having the Green Renewable Energy Plan approved, having the onshore wind restriction in this province lifted, we are getting online with the rest of the world, especially Europe, who seems to be ahead of us so much more. But this is going to bode dividends to the province of Newfoundland, but equally to Canada, because we are Newfoundland and Labradorians, and we might only be 500,000 people. But this province produces, each one of us here around this table, and even with staff, each one of us here produce more GDP for Canada than any other province in the country. We have more GDP, and that's because of our mineral, our oil, our fish, all of our exports. Now, we're going to have a green renewable wind potential for export. And the greatest thing for Stephenville is the wind DNA in the province. It is the best when it comes to laminate offshore winds. The Department of Environment had all the work done. That was years ago. But more importantly, you have the substation at Bottom Brook, right here in Stephenville, just over Indian Head. You have the grounding station, and then you got the subsea cable at Cape Ray. So from an alternating current perspective, you can wheel the power. Power can wheel in to us, but there's alternating currents that you can wheel it back. So the big thing, if we produce green energy in this province, it's an insatiable market that people want, because you accrue a higher carbon credit than if you're burning fossil fuels. If you're burning nuclear fuels, the fossil fuels could be coal. There's still a lot of coal burned today, and with a lot of emissions, a lot of bunker C. But even making products from nuclear power don't have the carbon credit value of making stuff with wind. Wind is almost like, you know, there was a band called Earth, Wind and Fire. Well, it's almost like we're there in Newfoundland, you know. So it's very, very important that we support it. It's a big development. It's a big project, and it's going to do well for this province, this town, and this country.
Yeah.
So all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
That concludes planning and traffic.
And nothing late, Jennifer? No. Okay, no bylaws or regulations today? No. Unfinished business, any unfinished business?
I know.
Any new business?
You
Go ahead, Councilor Tillman.
know, today is Green Shirt Day. Green Shirt Day is for organ donor awareness and registration. The initiative was started in honor of Logan Boulet. I think I'm saying that name right. On April 6, 2018, is the day that people across this country heard the news of a Humboldt Broncos bus crash, where 16 people lost their lives and 13 will all bear physical and emotional scars. April 7th, 2018, Logan Boulay, a defenseman for the Humboldt Broncos, passed on due to his injuries. His parents, Bernadine and Toby Boulay, offered to donate their son's organs so that 6 lives could live on. As news spread about the donations of Boulay's organs, it is estimated that 150,000 people registered to become organ donors in the days and weeks that followed. To date, it is the largest number of Canadians to register to become organ donors in Canadian history due to one event and one person. This became known as the Logan Boulay effect. I encourage all residents who haven't already registered to become a donor to become one. It could literally be a matter of life or death.
Very good. Shows strength and leadership when events like that happen, you know. And, by reading that today, it just makes it more impacting. So thank you for that. I'd just like to say too, I'd like to recognize that our town manager, Mike Campbell, this will be his last public meeting unless we have a special meeting or something that's going to happen. But Mike is going to finish a long term with the town of Stephenville from working with our public works as a director or superintendent position to the chief administration officer, town manager of the town of Stephenville. Still got a few days, Mike, till April 14th, but he's itching because spring is in the air. I can see it in his body language, eh? But I'd like to just stand up and a round of applause for a distinguished career, Mike. You had a lot of, you'll be able to walk away and see the work you've done managing the town. And like just today, we gave a presentation to some medical students, and Marissa gave an overview of our recreational facilities. And it was immense what we have and what we achieved here. So on that note, I'm going to give you down.
I just want to say Mike had a speech prepared, but his voice is gone, so. I asked him if he wanted me to read it, and he said no, so I'm just gonna.
Well, you know, maybe if his voice approves, we can zoom him in for the next.
Well, that's right.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
So, any other new business?
Trying to think now how many I got. And I'll, that meeting with David Palmer for recruitment is still on, right? On the
Yes,
19th?
April 19th, yeah.
Yeah, because badly needed.
You know, let me just run this by you. You may have heard it because somebody queried me on it and it made a little bit of sense, you know. So we have a shortage right now of about 3 to 4 physicians. Right now there's 3 physicians at the Bay St. George Medical Clinic. I think our complement is around 9. There's only 3 salaried physicians at the Bay St. George Medical Clinic. So when a doctor comes in to take over a doctor that's leaving and takes over their files or their clients, it's like there's no gap. You know, if somebody had a family doctor, somebody comes along, they still got a family doctor. So, but when somebody hasn't had a family doctor for say 5 years, somebody's seen a family doctor left last month, a new doctor comes in, and it might be too complexing, but you'd almost think that people who haven't had a family doctor would be moved up to be clients of a new doctor. You know, I'm just looking at statistical reasoning. But I really feel, and I was speaking to a local doctor, that he really feels that we're starting to see some traction and attention on our retention package. And our latest, Dr. Al Canini, has just started at the Bay St. George Medical Clinic. And I'd like to bring that up with David Palmer and the recruitment team and maybe Dr. Rashley when we have our next meeting. Just a quick query. Any thoughts on that?
Well, Actually, she's going with Dr. McCumsky on fee for service.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Yeah, she's not going down. Bay St. George Medical Clinic is down below the hill, right? Dr. Lamswood. This one is the community.
Alcanini, she's going with Dr.
She's going with Dr.
For service.
She's going to be doing fee for service. And do you know how many patients Dr. Abashi had?
No.
1,400.
Robert will
But,
never
and,
get
but
Be taking over his patients.
didn't Hibashi leave after Dr. Dahlman?
No,
He left.
well, there's two Dr. Abashis. There was two.
Yeah.
And this one that's just left was down at where Dr. Lamswood was as well.
Right.
So he moved up, because what they do, some of them, they think they're gonna make $1 million in no time because they're going fee for service. Every patient they sees is, I just forgot what they get now, but I gotta check that out, but they do get a fee for every patient. So the more you see, the more money you make. So, that's what they think they're gonna do. They're gonna be a millionaire overnight. But anyway, with 1,400 patients.
Yeah. I'm just thinking,
Even if it's $25.
I just thought Dr. Dahlman left and then there was still three there.
Well, Dr. Dwyer was there,
Yeah.
there.
And then-
Bashi Lewis.
Right, and so
Four.
after Dahlman left, then Hibashi left.
Yeah, he just left there.
So why is the new person replacing Hibashi and not Dr. Dahlman? That's what I would like to know, because that means I've been longer without a doctor, let's say. The people who've been longer without a doctor are still not gonna get one.
Yeah, well, I don't know for sure, but for example, normally, I would think that, like you said, if someone came in a Habashi's case, now he's left, so you would think that his patients would be seen through, yes, that's a given. But it seems to me that sometimes I think it's up to the doctor too.
Yeah,
Because, I mean, who wants to take on 1,400 patients? Unless, like I said, they want to be a millionaire, right
When
quick.
there seems to
You
be
know.
now, like when we even spoke to the new medical students today, and we know it too, there's more of a work-life balance.
yeah,
Sometimes physicians come in who want the fee for service, the higher demand that's revenue generated, or driven. Then there's the fee for service, the salaried physicians. But then there's the extra responsibility working in the emergency department,
Yeah,
working in the hospital. Like they created that new position, I believe Dr. Dwyer has, the hospitalist. I think it's a really good position.
yeah.
It
And
allows
Wendy.
the doctor to be able to see patients at the hospital.
Yeah, well, she takes care of the inpatients that get
Inpatients, yeah.
admitted. One of the internists told me that now, there's 3 internists now because they're 2 doing some locum work. But one of them told me that, that's been here a long time, he said, he's really, really lucky to have Dwyer and Wendy Squires as nurse practitioner.
yeah.
He said made his work a lot
I heard that,
easier,
yeah.
But the other day, there was a man on, a couple days ago, there was a man from Central on Open Line. And he's saying that when his family doctor left, all his records were sent to a place in Ontario. Now to get them back, he got to pay $125. And if it's waste, well, that would be $250 that he'd have to pay to get them back.
Seems strange.
Now, what's up with that? You know, I never heard tell of it.
Pike was his name.
Yeah, Roger Pike, yeah, I never heard tell of that before. You know.
well, I'm thinking now too, there's the.
Roger, right?
Yeah.
The budget today suggested that maybe we'd be going to one health board, so I'm thinking,
Yes.
I wonder, are they gonna put that in Steveville like they did with
Yeah.
college headquarters?
Yeah.
Because that was
Well,
so,
let's ask for it.
could be some trade-off, right?
Yeah, some trade-off.
I just
Lost-
Seeing there's no headquarters here anymore really, except for,
The other thing
Emo.
too, like, and I spoke to the medical students today, and obviously the other thing that's changing in the medical field is that it appears a lot of physicians are going in, but they tend to want to specialize.
Yeah,
And their specialization means a further time in school, in residency. And, there's a lot of specialists that exist out there. But it's challenging for smaller communities that don't have a suite of specialty offerings in rural Canada or rural Newfoundland or rural Nova Scotia or rural Yukon. Just for the GP, for the basic needs of diagnose and seeing a family doctor, that you can be referred. So there's a lot of complexities, but I think the healthcare accord is going to drive it down and identify, and they've done a fair amount of engagement. They engaged and they met with our council, and we had our views on our hospital, and I can't say it enough that the greatest need of a hospital is to save a life.
Yep.
And sometimes saving a life means minutes, and that could be emergency surgery, and that's important. And when physicians sign, I don't know if they actually sign it or they get it as part of their doctorate degree. I'm not a doctor, but the Hippocratic Oath is for a reason. So when somebody needs an operation, we need to allow accountability and professionalism to make those executive high-level decisions on that medical level to ensure that they do what they can to save a life. And sometimes I think bureaucracy and layers of management, mismanagement and all that stuff, and it happens whether it's in healthcare or any care,
But you know what's something I didn't know that surprised me was that if an emergency comes in now, see, the OR is finishing up around 3 o'clock. And if an emergency comes in after, the surgeon can't do it because they don't have any OR staff to come in. Do you know that?
Well, I was told that, but
I thought
that's not
crazy.
true. That's not true, because our OR staff complement, they could be called in.
Well, they could be,
They're
but
using pain management, I think, to try to sustain somebody till the next day or get them to Cornerville. But, that's where I'm saying the autonomy we're losing, because it's not the issue. We do have enough staffing. And remember, if somebody, whether it's a doctor that goes home and you're on call, you come, if there's a motor vehicle accident and your grandson or granddaughter needs emergency surgery. That's what those professionals are being paid for.
I know.
To save a life.
yes.
And it could be in a winter storm.
Yeah.
And you can't get to Cornwall, or you can't wait 12 hours.
Yeah.
So, and we gotta keep hammering
Mind
that as a council.
emergency before 3.
And that's why I'm saying is I'm happy personally about one healthcare board, because when you look at Western Health's budget, it's about $330 million. That's their budget. So let's say Cornbrook and the other small sites is 230, and we got $100 million budget running Sir Thomas Roddick. I'm just kind of doing some round numbers here on my guesstimates. When you're running a $100 million facility, you should have management on the ground that can make management decisions, not being micromanaged from another site.
Right.
So I think that's the best thing that's going to come out of this.
But I think the message, what we've seen in other, let's say in education and in post-secondary education, what we've seen is with one board, the further it gets,
That's the challenge
the
too.
further it stays, and people are not being allowed to make decisions as opposed to they should be making decisions, right? So it's the bigger the board gets, it seems like sometimes the ability to micromanage is even more, and especially when that board is so close to government that you don't know who's running it, if it's a government department or a board. And, we've all seen that too. So we got to hope that while this is a good concept like many others, it's really all about how it operates. And so if it operates as one board that allows people to do the jobs they were hired to do, then it would be successful. But if it's about micromanaging so no one can do anything, we're not going to really change the circumstance at all, right?
Okay, last night I was in on Emerge and I got to meet Dr. Al-Khalali.
It says she's sweet.
And I welcomed her to the town on behalf of the council and introduced myself to her. And I expressed how deeply happy and grateful I was that she took up this position here. And that if we could be of any assistance to give us a call.
Excellent.
So I just wanted to know that she was very happy about being here. She finds the people very friendly. So let's keep that up and let's do what we can.
So that's real dedication. Now Myra faked an illness. Got herself admitted to.
I gotta tell you what.
I was doing gardening.
That's our one.
So,
Yes.
But I was here doing my representation for gardening.
That's good, it's good that they know that.
yeah, so, let's-
Everything.
so if there's no other business, we'll probably wrap it up. I would ask the councillor to move that we adjourn our meeting. Moved by Councillor Lenny Keller, seconder. Councillor Tracy Boland, all in favor.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.